Okay, no, really, seriously. I would make my bed, but my cat is sleeping on that. I don't know if you can... Achilles! Hup! I shouldn't have done that. That was the rudest thing. But you, right there, you see, there's my proof. That's, oh, you really can see him. I have my glasses on now. I understand that. Nice! What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. It's time for another episode of Min-Maxing for Fun and Profit. You guys have been clamoring to bring back all my playtest builds. Today we're doing my favorite one. Today we're doing one I played. It has also been requested that we talk about monk fighters. There will be a little more fighter this time in Yamcha than there was last time. In any case, we're building the monk. Once again, friends, Yamcha is heckin' playable. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, remember to like, subscribe, and ding that bell. And remember that patronage at any tier gets you access to the Google Sheet that Yamcha is built on, and for $4.99 a month. By becoming a member here at Black Dragon Gaming, you get all of our videos early. In any case, this episode of Min-Maxing for Fun and Profit was brought to you in part by Buffalo. You're good people. Thank you, man. I'm glad you're around. Now, Wolfang Fist! Yeah, just brace for it. I'm going to be shouting that 20 billion thousand times throughout this video. It's going to be great. Okay, so you guys know that for as long as I've been playing TTRPGs pretty much, I've been a fan of a dexterity-based character over a strength-based character as far as my melee combat characters are concerned. In older editions of D&D and Pathfinder, dexterity just got you farther than strength, and when you combined it with a couple of other things, most notably taking one monk level to get one of your mental stats to your armor class when you're not wearing armor, you oftentimes just flat out shone the guy in full plate, even carrying illegally 2 tower shields. Of course, that's not quite the case in 2nd edition. Again, I'm not really sure right now who comes out in front. That's a min-maxing for fun and profit unto itself. Once we beat this request line into the ground, we'll look at it. But that doesn't mean that the dexterity-based monk isn't still really cool and really powerful. Monks in and of themselves have a lot of really fun stuff they can do. Even some like inner sea archetypes that give them what kind of feel like Jedi or Saiyan powers, which I think is sweet. Anyway, let's look at the build, shall we? Our goal here is to get the most out of our dexterity as possible, sneak attack damage, and really big dice. Almost this time we built an elf. It's not a dwarf though. I'll talk more about why the elf wasn't the choice. We did end up choosing the goblin. Of course, take the heritage that gives you that 10 hit points. Prioritize your dexterity and constitution. You'll need a strength of at least 14 for our archetypes, one of which will be taken at 2nd. Almost not one of these races, guys, but we couldn't quite do it. Let's look at our class feats. There's a grand total of 2 rogue feats on this build, and we'll take Twin Feint first. We'll be taking shield block pretty quickly, so nimble dodge doesn't really do anything for us. Might as well get some early value out of that feat. Then the monk dedication at 2nd. Now, we almost played an elf. And we almost played an elf for the ancient elf heritage spoiled in a blog that let you choose a class other than your own, gaining the multi-class dedication feat for that class, even though you don't meet its level prereq, but you still have to meet its other prereqs. Unfortunately, that does not allow you to cheat the feat prereqs of, say, like basic kata, advanced kata. We would still need to have 2 feats in front of this before getting access. That elf heritage basically says that you get to have your 2nd level feat free, which is not bad, but it's not good for us. There's not really a 2nd rogue feat we're dying for, at least not for a really long time. Not as much as we'd rather just go ahead and become a monk. Ergo, elf is a bad look for us. The monk dedication gives you the powerful fist class feature, gets you trained in skills of course, and gets us on our way to our next feat, wolf stance. It's unfortunate it takes us to level 4 to come online. If Ancient Elf could cheat the level requirements for other feat prereqs, maybe not like the ones that are 10, 12, but at least like the basic advanced feat ones, we could do this at first. That's what I thought would be happening, but 4th level it is. Wolf Stance is a stance that gives you Wolf Jaw unarmed attacks with 1d8 piercing damage in the Brawling group, with the Agile, Backstabber, Finesse, Non-Lethal, and Unarmed traits, also the Trip trait while you're flanking. This is everything the Rogue ever wanted forever. We'll take Monk Resiliency next because there's not a whole lot of first or second level Monk feats we're dying for. The extra HP will look better on us as we level, especially because, again, we're expecting to get attacked. At feat level 8, we will grab our Fighter Dedication and then Reactive Shield. Again, there have been a few requests for Monk Fighters, and I think the ability to use that shield, because shields aren't counting as armor, is part of what makes the Fighter Monk shine, unless you want to build some kind of grapple thing, which also is valid, of course. But one of the biggest complaints I've seen about the Monk class at large is that it doesn't really fit with the other core classes. On the whole, the Monk feels more Eastern. And by bringing a Monk to the table, sometimes they can feel a little out of place because of that. While I personally don't have a problem with Eastern flavored characters, generally try to stretch my imagination a little bit on these kind of things, the playtest also has redefined what class is. So by mixing up the Monk and the Fighter and giving the Monk a shield, it feels a little less like the guy from the monastery who's been training for 20 years to break boards with his pinky nail, and a little more like the street tough brawler who knows that this wooden plank might be the only thing separating him from life and death. His wolf style, as far as flavor goes, probably looks a little different. A little less, hey Yamcha, what was it? A little more punchy in the kidneys. Our only other rogue feat from the class we're playing today, Precise Debilitations once again at 12th with that Thief Racket for the extra 2d6 when we're sneak attacking, because it's just scary. So scary, it's still a little better, still probably better for us to wait 2 levels before we grab Wolf Drag. It's a 6th level Monk feat for 2 actions. Whilst in Wolf Stance, make a Wolf Jaw strike. Your Wolf Jaw gains the Fatal D12 trait for this strike, and if the attack succeeds, you knock somebody on their butt. Remember that Fatal increases all of the damage dice from, in our case, D8s to D12s, and tacks on an extra one for funsies. In any case, Quick Shield Block is next for an extra reaction to block with our shield. Then it's Fighter Resiliency. Basically, we know what we're good at. We know what we want to do. Just tack on the extra HP. Agile Grace is last, so we can hit him once with a big ol' what was it, Yamcha? Thank you, friend. I guess I need to find a goblin with a mullet, don't I? I can probably Photoshop that. It'll be good. Then strike twice, assuming we're hasted, at -3 and -6. As for our general feats, it's gonna look really similar. They'll give us some new stuff eventually, just hang tight. Shield Block first, because we don't have that in class, then Adopted by Halflings, then Canny Acumen for our Fortitude, then Toughness and Die Hard. As far as our Ancestry feats go, your first one is entirely up to you. If you think you'll be crafty, grab things like Junk Tinker, City Scavenger might look really good, Goblin Lore might look really good. It really just depends on what you think you're going to do with your game. Same is true for the 5th. Very sneaky, looks pretty good. Same is true for the 5th. Again, a lot of these look pretty playable, but they are definitely very specific to a certain play style. Halfling Luck, then Guiding Luck will be the next 2. And let me tell you, after getting my hands on the Lost Omens character guide and seeing some of the stuff both halflings and goblins get access to, I really just want to put some other feats on this. But if I don't have access to that book for another week as far as this video goes, I'll try not to explode. The last one is your call as well. All right, kids. Combat math, here we go. To be honest, I just want to talk about the critical hit today. That is what this build wants to do the most, just walk up, crit you to death. At the end of the day, with our master proficiency, buffing our dexterity all the way up and getting that apex item to take us to 24, assuming we get all of our fancy attack runes and things, we'll be punching in at 37 with Wolf Drag, then -3, 34, for the second attack, then 31 for the third, and any subsequent anything else we might get up to. In any case, when the critical connects, we're looking at 5d12, which averages at 33, plus 7 from our dexterity, plus 6d6 worth of sneak attack, because it's high-level play. You figured out how to get your sneak attack online constantly. Have a friend who stands on the other side. It's so easy. Then 6 more from Greater Weapon Specialization, 134 when we crit, which is a good chunk of change. And then you've tripped them, which means their armor class is lower versus consecutive strikes, though remember, those are just wolf jaw attacks. So there it is again. Yamcha's still real good. What do you guys think? Have we played this? Would you play it? Throw it in the comments, let me know. We've got a boatload of playtest min-maxing for fun and profits to bring into 2nd edition. Next week, we'll take a look at the first one we ever built and see if we still like it the way it is, or maybe a different casting tradition. We'll see. Hope you guys have done your homework. Gishing 201 is next week. I'll see you then.